Hey, Shane. Say things one more time.
What?
Say things one more time.
Things?
Thank you.
Go to
You said like things like 13 times in one sentence.
Really? Well,
You'll see it on the edits.
I said things one time, and then Stevie just thought that it happened. Oh, boy. Yeah, the things that I see in the edits. Oh, my God.
Hit us with that opening.
Welcome to another episode of Hotline Hangout. My name is Shane, and today I'm joined by two guests. One you know very well, and two you may never have heard of before. But I'd like to introduce you to my friend, my pal, my buddy, my Steve.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Steven. You're Steve. I love that every single time.
My Steve. It reminds me of Steed.
Steed, my Steve.
My Steve. And we're also joined by an old friend, Teeshia.
Hello.
How are you doing, Teeshia?
Teesh.
Very good. Very good. I don't know who this Steve person is.
Oh, yeah.
I know who Murphy is.
Murphy
Oh,
or
Murphy.
Murphykins.
Murph.
Either I go by that or my street name. Murphykins.
Murphy kids. Yeah.
Murphykins. Oh, my
You're
God.
like a fluffy teddy bear.
My lovely lovelies.
My little lovely lovelies.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he was chirping me up hard about that one. But yeah. How's everything with you, teacher? It's been quite a while since we actually last conversed.
It has. There is not much new.
Not much new.
We've been talking for like 25 minutes now.
Let us know about the actual job where she's working on the.
Live in the Toronto life.
Oh, yeah.
dark
How's the
secrets
job?
of the web.
It's actually pretty cool. So I work for a PR company, and I do like all their IT support for like
Really?
head
Moving up in the
office,
world.
Yeah.
That's great. We need an IT
That's
person.
right. We need a
we need somebody
website.
to focus the cameras.
And network management, because God knows, James, do you work for 25 cents?
More than that.
Oh, well, out of our
we only
budget.
have 25 cents.
Our current IT guy, who's unfortunately not with us, Mr. James, handles all of the cameras and all of our IT work very poorly, but
Does he even do that anymore? I think we
I think
kind of
he
just
just
like
shows up
worked
now.
him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because like now he like sits over on the couch for like 20, like every moment that we're
Yeah.
setting up, he's just watching something on his phone.
yeah, well, he's getting hyped. He has to get hyped somehow.
He's on strike. I think.
Usually,
That's what it sounds like.
We
usually
need to
it's
give
like a
him some
magic-
drugs.
Get some. What was Max saying before? Dabs.
Dabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Concentrated panic attack.
There you go.
Oh,
A
boy. Wow,
concentrated
that's a good
panic-
way to describe
There you go.
it.
Like, why couldn't he articulate these words? Like, he sat there and struggled. But that's another story. We'll have to bring that back up later when he revisits the show.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. So like James, he just normally sits there and just kind of hypes himself up. Usually, he kind of gets like worked up about Magic cards and Magic the Gathering.
We kind of just like make fun of him about magic cards, and
Yeah.
that somehow ties into a story. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, like for example, speaking of, first story today,
Yeah.
10-year-old getting charged with assault at a dodgeball tournament.
Yes.
Somehow James would have something in common with the 10-year-old, and
Mm-hmm.
he'd be like, okay, and then like he'd talk for a while.
I think it's like the mindset that he has of a 10-year-old child. Take that, James. You can't defend yourself now, boy.
James,
James.
I still have some stock footage of his seat while he wasn't there, so
So
we
he's
will
like,
definitely have
tossed
that in.
it. He's just
Yeah,
like,
I kept it. But
But yeah. So yeah, apparently this happened out in Canton, Michigan.
oh, that's okay. So my favorite thing about Canton, Michigan.
Yeah.
Do either of you know?
No.
That is the closest IKEA to us right now.
Oh god.
Oh my
get out of here.
god.
Well, you are in
Really?
Toronto. You're like near Burlington,
like
so like
three.
Yeah,
but
so
you're
it's just
from Windsor,
A
like
bus away, a walk
Yeah.
away.
Canton.
Yeah.
It's like a 20-minute drive, and you know what else? There's a Home Depot right next to it. Like I love going to Canton.
Well, we got Home Depots here, so.
Well, yeah, but
But not
American
next
Home
to
Depots.
Ikeas.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
Ikeas,
because you need
that's
some
another
Home Depot
story.
shit. Like, hey, how am I going to put this stuff together? I'm going to go buy a power drill.
Exactly.
Not
not
the
use
little
their-
shit ones that they got at
exactly.
IKEA.
They're janky
The,
ass tools.
What are you talking about?
The
I still got,
Sculptas?
I bought a power drill from IKEA and it still holds up to this day. I haven't even charged it since I bought it, and that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, but Steve, when's the last time you built something?
It was a cold, dark day, May 31st.
Do they even sell power drills anymore? They just want to watch people struggle.
I don't know
now,
because like
I
it came
think.
with like everything.
Oh
Like,
no,
the
you
whole
can
kit.
you can buy like a little mini power drill, but
Yeah.
recently I went out and bought a big boy power drill.
Yeah.
And my God, the difference of having like proper tools to do the job. Oh. So I love Home Depot.
Feeling that
Yeah.
power in your hand. It's
Yeah.
good.
So speaking of Canton, Michigan, so. I don't know. I don't know what's going on out in the States because like I know in like very like in the
Nobody
public
does.
schools and everything too, it's very hierarchy where it's like my child got injured under your supervision, and it's just like kids being kids at that point because like oh my god, just think about when you were a child, how many like shit incidents have you been into where it got to the point where you hurt yourself, you scraped your knee, you bumped your elbow, you hit your head, like and you just got up, shook it off, and continue on with like your day. Now that something like happens like that, it's like lawsuit. I'm gonna get free money out of this. $10,000, $5,000 for this, and it's so like abstract and bizarre the way that I kind of really think about it. Like honestly, when you were at school, have you have like a specific type of injury that you had that you just shook it off and your mom just laughed at you and she's like, all right, whatever.
When I came in, I broke my arm when I was a kid, and my mom laughed at me when I got home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like I didn't start crying until I told her what was wrong though. So like that's why they
Yeah.
were laughing. But
How about you for yourself, Teeshia?
Not gonna lie, I was the one doing the injuring. So
Body
I
slamming
remember
kids.
this one occasion. I was chasing we were playing tag, so I was chasing some kid, and I grabbed him like by the overalls and like swung him around like
Holy
Matilda style. And I
it's like
just-
Gilligan's Island.
like
Matilda style.
like, and I threw him into one of those portables. So like he was small, so he was
That's
pretty
funny.
banged up, and he's like, "I'm gonna tell on you," and I was like, "I'll walk you to the principal's office."
I'll throw him too.
So I walked him there, and he's like, "I fell." That's what and that was it.
Big gash.
Damn
on
right
the
you
cheek.
fell, boy.
Teeshia just sitting there in the background, punching her fist.
No. So the kid walks into the principal's office, and Tisha's in the window behind the
I was.
principal, just looking at the kid.
She's just like thumb to the like neck of the throat, like a slit through motion.
Oh boy.
Little 7-year-old me.
Yeah. No. When I was a kid, I didn't have things like this. Like
Yeah.
dodgeball was like a normal sport.
Yeah.
I enjoyed throwing things at people in a way that was consensual.
Yeah.
And according to the article here, this was completely consensual. Everybody who was taking part in it was aware that they were taking part in it.
Yeah.
And so apparently one of the principal's responses were that the student who was injured had a pre-existing condition.
Yeah,
Yes.
You know what the pre-existing condition was? They had a chronic brain stem injury. Like,
Yeah,
why the hell are
exactly.
you playing a game where
That-
people throw things at
exactly.
you?
That's one of the main points. So what they're trying to suggest and bring up to is like you knew this kid had a predetermined issue or condition. Why is he taking part into physical activity in the first place? Like that's just
that's
not
insane.
right.
And what was going on here? Like, I could only imagine, like let's say they gave out a bunch of dodgeballs and these kids are throwing them back or whatever. Like, what did this kid do? Like that put him in the court system now? Like, did he go and like tape some razor blades to it or something? Or
well,
like,
because like I don't know the way that the mother was kind of determining and saying it was a deliberate attack. Because like I guess
it was a deliberate attack though.
yeah,
like they were
that's what
playing
dodgeball
dodgeball.
is.
Well, yeah, they're playing
It's a
dodgeball, but,
deliberate
like,
attack.
What she was saying was that more in deliverance as this is a reoccurring issue where this kid would actually seek out for her son to like strike him down, hit him with something like that, and incidents happen like
It's
that. Like,
dodgeball, though.
But
That's like
they're
saying
friends and
like,
everything.
oh, it's a deliberate attack every time like somebody shoots a puck at a goalie. Like,
He's weak, and they prey on the weak. That's
yeah,
how
and
you
I'm
win.
just like exactly like you capitalize on that for your own personal gain. So ideally, take out the weakest link, continue on from there.
it's
and
also
work
a
your way up.
dodgeball though, right?
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
free
Yeah.
for all. Throw a damn
Also,
ball.
like I've played dodgeball before. Like the most opportune person to hit is like usually the person directly in front of you.
Yeah.
And like, why? Like if you're playing dodgeball, like there's not really
Yeah.
a strategy other than don't get hit by the ball. You don't really have a time to shoot. And like maybe you did, right?
Yeah.
But like this is dodgeball, and now they're talking about the legal system. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Exactly.
I don't know, man. Like it's completely messed up. Like in the retrospect, the best part, but I do like seeing about was the mother of the kid being charged for assault. She
The mother of the kid was.
No,
No,
she
no.
wasn't charged, but
No,
I
no, no,
remember reading it, and she didn't want her face to be shown.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes.
well, because like even too with like the American justice system too, they can't necessarily give any type of names or any type of formality of the victims or who's involved until they are prosecuted for that. It follows under whatever like their I guess like juvenile act they have. It's the same concept
Oh
in Canada that we
the
adopt.
Young Offenders Act.
Exactly. So they can't release any type of detailed information about
They
that.
they
prior
did
to-
release some details like about the other kids' names stuff. To
Yeah.
me, at least though, it doesn't really matter
Yeah.
what the kids' names are or anything.
Yeah.
Like I
But
don't really
besides
care
that,
about
all that point, but I guess the mother of the kid being charged, the 10-year-old, she went to like GoFundMe, so they're actually paying for her legal
Yeah, they
fees.
raised almost $12,000. They only wanted $4,000.
Yeah, that
So,
was like
you know what? He's got some college money now.
There you go,
Seriously?
put it away.
Maybe the
GoPro.
best dodgeball that he ever threw. Yeah,
But
he could go
There's
pro.
a dodgeball
Yeah.
league. My friend plays in it. Like,
Oh, they're
yeah.
actually
no,
know,
for real.
Wow.
If you play dodgeball
True.
so well that you are going through the court system
Yeah.
for assault, maybe you should think about
Scout
joining a
guy.
league.
that should be like the heading of your resume.
There's like a
there.
bunch of scouts at the trial.
That's just like, yeah, good.
Yeah, he meets all of our 4 criteria.
But I don't know, like I guess it's like they're just very gun ho. Like that's not new to everything. Where it's just like you do one little thing, you're gonna get charged from every other which way about anything. Like especially
my
when it comes down to
God.
kids and children and stuff like that. Like parents can be protective, but at the end of the day, they're always looking for some sort of free handout. You know?
Yeah.
Here's the deal with this thing. So the mother of the boy who was hit with the ball told WXYZ TV that she sought legal action because it wasn't the first time her son was
Yeah.
targeted.
By
And
the
then
same
the
kid,
quote here: "My son was hit twice in the face with a ball previously due to this." Like twice previously, okay, your son was playing dodgeball twice previously, but hit in the face. Like, you know what? You could try your best. You're not going to hit me in the face with anything. Like I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
block or whatever, right? Like it's not like how far away were these kids? Like was it like right in front of them?
You know
Like,
what? You know what that tells me
Oh my
about this?
God.
About the kid with the concussion. You know what that tells me? Got hit in the face twice.
Wait, he got a concussion?
Yeah, he got a concussion.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Probably why he's not blocking the ball.
He's a goddamn cheat.
I'm pretty sure that the kid was already concussed.
yeah.
Back in my
because-
day, we used to have these things called sock'em boppers.
Oh,
and
yeah.
boy, the little air cushion in between didn't really give too much of a cushion for beating the crap out of people.
Sock him once and then you buck him twice.
More fun than a
Pillow
pillow
fight. I know this whole song.
Put your hands inside, get ready to have the time of your life. Sock boppers, do not come battery, blah, 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 blah.
Talking about this, not recommended.
Oh my god, is that the opener? I think that's the opener.
There you go. We got it.
My real question
Damn.
is why is this lady knowing her son has a pre-existing condition?
Yeah.
Why do not any of the teachers know? Why is he outside? Like usually,
Yeah.
if kids are hurt or in any way or disabled,
Yeah.
they stay inside, they stay protected. But like he's out there just
Yeah.
trying to get hurt. He has a death wish.
Dude, like legit. That's one of my main concerns as well. It's just like they knew this kid
Wait,
has a
does the mom
brainstem
have a
issue.
concussion too?
she must too.
Yeah, there must be
Probably.
runs
But
in the family.
This mother knew her son has this brainstem related issue that any little flick of the head, he gets concussed. And so
Slams on the brakes too
with
hard.
that, exactly. With that being said, all teachers and information like of authority figures of watching over the kid must and need to know of this condition prior to any type of event, so they can pull them out when they need to, especially when it's like physical activity. I know exactly for a fact that when I was in school back in the day, we had I think 2 diabetics in my class. And we were allowed, I don't know if it was just like my teacher doing it or if the school decided it, but they ejected any type of sweets and like snacks like that just because they didn't want to tempt the diabetic kids.
What do you mean they ejected?
They like, so if we brought like,
You brought in a chocolate bar to work
Yeah,
to
no.
school, and they just fucking
they
take it.
took it away.
They had like a little like jet propulsion system. They just push a button and it's just like
it got to the point where they just like took it away and threw it away on you, no matter what it was. If it was too high in sugar
so.
content.
Getting into your school was
Yeah.
kind of like getting into a concert with snacks in your bag. Like, just like no, they just throw it into the garbage right in front of you, and you're
There's
just
a
like,
little black market for treats.
yeah, to go ahead and put it in the old prison purse.
oh my god, that reminds me. Like the first time I ever went to a concert was like Vans Warped Tour in like 2004,
Nice.
2005, and like my mom went out and bought me like 2 big bottles of Gatorade, and like I really appreciated
Yeah.
it, right? Because like love it when your mom cares about you, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, oh wow, thanks mom. I felt really loved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going to the fucking concert, and this like person just takes the bottles out of my hand and just throws them full into the garbage, and I felt so bad because like my mom went out of her way to
Yeah.
buy those for me, and I just was like, I was so sad, man. Like they were just bottles of Gatorade,
Yeah.
whatever, but like they they were like
Filled with love.
Yeah.
love, yeah, they were like filled with love, and I'm just like, oh man, my mom went out of her way to get those.
Exactly.
So I wonder how the kids must
adorable.
have felt in your grade school.
But yeah, well, yeah, obviously, like at that point. My
Is there
mom
a sugar
came
and burner?
there.
Would you be able to bring a burner to school now?
They're actually sugar free.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the best
Man,
parts.
Steve would be like bouncing off the walls at his day in grade school.
Oh shit, I was like that anyways. There was like numerous of times where I got talked to and like they brought my parents and they're like, hey, listen, we got to talk about Steven. I think he needs Ritalin.
Both of your parents walk in with a burner and be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
There's like the pupils are all dilated, they're all twitchy and everything. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Like those little quick kids.
He's like, oh my God. It's not hereditary. But I don't know, man. Like it's they're just too gun-ho about that. Like that's
Yeah. Well, I feel like the parent probably could have done more here. Because like, doing a little role playing here.
Ooh. Go ahead.
You send your kid to school, right? And your kid freshly hit in the head with a dodgeball. And you don't say to your kid like, okay, maybe next time you shouldn't play dodgeball.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, oh, okay, mom. And then, go and it happens twice now.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, maybe you should stop playing dodgeball voluntarily with consent.
It's so freaking funny just because I remember strictly when we had like our dodgeball days. Sometimes we didn't actually have the actual normal soft cushion balls. We had to play with like basketballs. And
Well, we used to have bowling balls. It was like an exercise class,
Okay.
and so they were like, you know what? If you can throw this bowling ball and hurt somebody with it, well, that's good.
just going for ankles.
Yeah, just like bowling, but yeah, it's crazy.
Hey,
Can this kid get out though? Like, how do you beat that kid?
what do you mean?
Were the parents just mad
Oh.
because like the kid couldn't win?
Oh, I
Because like if you
have no idea.
can't hit the kid with a dodgeball, then like that's just like an immunity idol, right?
Well, because I think what happened, I don't know if the kid was like knocked unconscious or anything, or why it led to the point where what it did. But the kid probably went home. He's like, "Mom, my head doesn't feel,
He
I
had
don't feel
bruising.
well."
That's what they said.
Yeah, and then she probably
Bad
took him to the
bruising.
hospital, and he was like, "Oh, he's concussed. He been hit in the face or something like
Yeah,
that." And
black
she probably,
eye, too.
Talked to the
Oh,
kid, like, what
dang.
happened. He probably like fabricated. The
That's
story a little bit.
unfortunate. But
Yeah,
at the end of the day, they were playing dodgeball.
Yeah.
Kid knew that people were going to throw balls at
that's
them.
right.
It doesn't matter who did it. They were going to get hit with a ball.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a bull.
I mean, that's not even the worst game. Do you guys remember playing Red Rover?
Oh, boy.
That is danger.
Where were those played with? Like those like
Those were just played with human bodies.
Yeah, you
and
just play with
hands.
arms.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, and you'd like run through and break through people's arms. You always pick the weakest link.
The key to like Red Rover was like find the heaviest kid in your class. And, like, you're on my team.
Exactly.
Do you guys remember Butt Burner?
What the hell is a
No.
butt burner?
Whoa.
Is that when you like knee someone in the ass? Me and you grew up in two different locations.
So Butt Burner, my God, I can't believe I'm explaining this.
Like, what game is
It's
that?
2019. I'm almost 30 years old.
do you need to be an adult?
No. So Butt Burner, basically. So do you remember like those like Indian rubber balls that they'd play like lacrosse with?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like those like.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
You're talking
It's
about
like-
red ass. It's called red ass where I grew up.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Well,
yeah.
not too far away here in Windsor, we played.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You guys.
But
are probably
basically,
censored.
like it was like Rochambeau, but with like a freaking solid core rubber ball.
Yeah.
And the goal, the goal was to just throw it at somebody's ass as hard as you possibly could, and then like take turns. Right?
Whoa, you guys had you have different rules. What we had.
What was your rule?
We had to play that on a flat surface, like on a wall. We throw it at the wall. If you catch it but drop it, you have to immediately sprint to the wall. Well, we grab the ball and we try to throw it at your ass. So it's called red ass. That's the whole premise of
Okay,
it.
no, that's a different
And then-
game. We didn't call it red ass,
Yeah.
but I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
That's a
and
different
then
game.
basically you can't, if he touches the wall, you can't throw the ball, obviously.
See,
And then
Butt
he's
Burner
safe.
was like a total Rochambeau game.
Just very
You're just
sounds- yeah.
trying to hurt people,
Okay.
but
Sounds
it was
like a
on
bunch of masochists.
Yeah, yeah.
How about-
It was very masochistic.
How about growing up in Toronto there? Do you have any
I feel
butt
like
burner games like
The
that?
game we played is a little like an evolution of your guys, where I played Red Ass.
Oh
but you're
fuck!
not
They had a
hitting-
gun that
Yeah.
shot it. They had like one
I
of
know.
those like ball guns.
You go to Toronto, everything gets shot. Like, this is why I'm gone this weekend. But like when we play Red Ass, nobody was getting hit in the butt. Like
Yeah.
if you dropped it, you just got an R. So you spelled out Red Ass.
Oh,
like
that's funny.
literally.
Oh my god!
Well, because
So
like
lame.
you don't deliberately
much
try
more
to hit them in
civilized
the
in
ass. You just
Toronto.
like either hit them because ideally they're running away. So if
Yeah.
you throw it, ideally you're gonna hit them in the back somewhere. most of the time is it always like curved down and like hit them in like the
spinal
legs or something like
injuries
that.
and stuff. You know, this kind of makes me realize though that like the further north you go in Ontario, like the more civilized they get. Like over here, we're trying to kill each other a little bit further north, like not much further. They're like, okay, well at least you have to mess things up in order to get hit in the butt. And then over here, it's like, you know what? We're gonna give you a letter punishment.
Try again.
No, so Stevie and I went to the gym the other day, and we go to the sauna afterwards, and me and Steve just sit. And there was this guy in there, and I don't know what the hell he was doing. He was like squeegeeing himself with his palms, and like he kept like, oh, that was so gross, man.
Well, like when
that was so gross.
I don't know if you first seen him when we actually stumbled in, like walked in. Like
Yeah, he was
I
like squatting.
yeah, like I don't mean to shame anybody like who just who wants to go to the gym have fun, because like he was obviously in
He was
there
like
by himself.
teabagging the bench or
But,
something. Like,
yeah, like
what the hell was that?
You just have no idea. Like he was just like
He
like in his
looked back
underwear.
at us. I felt like we walked in on like Golum, like fucking jerking off with the ring. Like, what?
It was all fun and games until he started hissing at us. But yeah, like he was like squatting, like it like wasn't like on the ground or anything. It was actually just like right on the head of the bench. And like he was just like, I don't know, trying to keep his balance or anything like that. And he's just like stretching out, and after like everything was just wet somehow.
And it was really weird, right? Because like he was basically doing like the splits almost. And when he got off like the wet spot, right? Like there was like a wet spot where his foot was or whatever. And then, like, cause like when you do the splits, your junk doesn't touch the ground or whatever. But yeah, there was just like a little smiley face right in the middle, right around the crotchal area.
But like I don't know, because like it was so funny too, because I was like just like curled up against the wall and everything too, and just like I don't know, everything.
Yeah,
just
Steve's
like
a fucking asshole.
really
He like
wet.
he takes the spot farthest away
made Shane sit in
every
it.
single time too. Every time there's somebody in there, I have to sit in the middle. Steve fucking plops his ass down. He's like, "No, we don't need to do anything else in here." He just like rushes the best seat.
And when we're saying the middle, I mean like the guy's sitting above him, the guy has to just like open his leg, and Shane's like sitting in between, like on the bottom section.
Just like put my head back a little bit. Just like relax, right? It's
Has
a sauna. It's a sauna.
A little bit more extra heat on the back of the neck.
Oh god. Yeah, that guy was so strange though. And then like at some point, like he sat there, and you could tell that he was like a little apprehensive to like keep doing what he was doing for a bit. But then after we sat there for a little bit, he just like kind of like did another squat, and then what the hell was he doing to his legs? He was like,
I don't
like,
know, man.
draining them or something. Like I don't know what the hell he was doing, but it was making some like noises. Like you ever take like a mop out of a bucket and then smack it against the floor? That's what it sounded like.
Or just like
100%.
take like a dry squeegee and just like rub it on something that's like not lubed or moist, and you just hear that screeching noise.
That's just dry.
Like
skin.
and like you're just like looking at us.
Wait. You ever been through the car wash? You know those like little brushes that smack the car? Like that's what it sounds like.
And then Shane like looks at me dead in the eye and starts doing like a jerk off motion. Definitely made it awkward for the most.
Well, he didn't see. He was not paying attention to
he
anything
was
else.
so apprehensive. Like he was just like stuck in his own little world.
It's like he was like trying to rip his leg off or something, but he was so sweaty that he couldn't but he was really trying.
Get a good grip.
He started leaving, so he went to go like he just like went in the shower. All you hear is just like 30 seconds, just like skin smacking on the floor, just trips.
Oh my god.
Oh man, like I don't know, like did it ruin the gym experience for me? No. Am I going back? Yes. But I don't know, man. It was
Dang.
just,
You love the entertainment.
yeah. I didn't want to check on him too, just because I was just like, I'm not licensed yet. Whatever.
Next time I'm gonna bring some ones.
Talk about I don't know. He could have been concussed or whatever. Well, Teeshia, this brings us to the next story of possible red asses.
Oh my god.
You lived in Toronto for quite a little while, right?
Yes.
So have you heard about this new innovative Tim Hortons that they're actually opening up, or they already opened?
I've heard rumors of it, but like you hear rumors of everything in Toronto, and I just kind of wait until it passes, and if it stays, I'm like, oh, let's check it out.
Yeah. So currently at the location of 130 King West, so pretty much right in the heart of downtown, they opened up this like new innovative. It looks very.
It's called Tim Hortons Innovation Center, right?
It looks like very. I don't know. When I look at it, it looks kind of arrogant. Like it just
Typical
looks so.
Toronto.
Yeah,
It looks
so,
like if Tim Hortons was Starbucks.
But yeah, that's exactly the vibe I got from it. I was like, maybe this is something you would see like in like San Francisco, just because it seems like kind of like almost
It's
like
bougie.
smuggy. Yeah, there you go,
bougie.
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 It's just like the feel
man.
like it's an upper scale look and appeal to it. It's very not hospital. Sorry, it's very hockey oriented, of course, via Tim Horton, the hockey player.
It's like hockey Starbucks.
The legit one thing though actually really caught my eye. I really liked. I don't know why. It's just like the actual free wireless station on the actual desk or the bar. So it's all built-in wireless charger. So if you just plug your phone there with instant charge,
They have that at Starbucks as well.
Do they?
Yeah.
Is it right on the bar?
It's like kind of everywhere. Like the little Starbucks stations, they have like wireless chargers everywhere.
Yeah, but like they have like the stools and everything too. Because like you know how like a normal bar just has it going around the people like the servers and everything. And no matter where you sit, you put your phone down, it instantly charges your phone as well, which is very appealing. That's one thing I really like.
because your phone's always dead.
Oh yeah, it's like the battery's like shot on it, 24/7 on it.
Your phone doesn't have a wireless charger. I don't know why you're so interested in this.
I'm just saying like I said the idea was great.
I'm like, I may make the switch just because of it. So are they trying to change all the Tims, or are they going to pull like a McCafe, McDonald's thing, and just have a couple bougie ones?
I don't know. Maybe this is like a test trial.
It seems
phase
like
or
a
something
trial
that.
thing.
Yeah.
So get this though. The thing that bugs me about this is like, it has a new look and whatever, and like I'm more or less like concerned with the food and like the quality of food and stuff like that. The Tim Hortons Innovation Cafes, they call it an innovation, but what they really did was they went back and took their recipes from like 2006.
Yeah.
And then they like started making them again.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it's
with,
all the same stuff. Like it looks good.
Yeah.
They maybe have a little bit more ingredients, like different flavor donuts and stuff, but they're like made in-house donuts and stuff like that. They have like
real
lattes.
ingredients.
Yeah, with real ingredients. Like have you had them recently? Like as soon as the parent company that owns like Burger King and whatever bought the Tim Hortons and Taco Bell or Burger King chain.
To me, yeah.
Like things just started going downhill. They started like serving burgers and stuff, and it's like, have you either of you had a burger from Tim Hortons?
The plant-based one, I've been very weary to try.
I tried the plant one, but like that's a little different because like they put on English muffins still. But
What the hell? Where
the
are
Beyond
they
Meat
serving-
burgers?
Oh, they're
so,
trying to do it
that's-
everywhere.
yeah, that's
at Tim
everywhere.
Hortons. Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't even know
everywhere.
that. I was gonna say, where the hell are you guys going to get like burgers at Tim Hortons? It's
Oh no, they have
yeah, they have
actual
real
burgers
burgers,
in
too.
Tim Hortons
Really?
now.
What the
Yeah, you
hell?
can go and order a
Probably just
hamburger.
Burger King
Yeah.
burgers too. I'm like, no, thank you.
That's what I was
my
like saying
God.
before. We talked about this with like the artificial grills on it, like
Oh
the
my
grill
God.
pattern.
Little holes. It just
it-
looks
yeah,
like
it-
herpes.
Yeah, it does look really gross. Those burgers.
Yeah. But like aesthetic wise, it looks very pleasing. Like they did kind of a pretty good job of just like setting up everything too.
Yeah.
Like the lineup of what they call them, the dream donuts.
Oh, those donuts are like gourmet, dude. Peanut butter and jelly donuts. Oh man.
Apparently they were saying they're even hitting up like local bread made and everything too, like that. So for
like
all the
those
sandwiches and
donuts
everything.
look like what I remember in my childhood, and I know like in my
Yeah.
childhood,
Yeah.
like I have like a grand view of that or whatever. But
Yeah.
like as an adult, it really hits the spot.
It
like
really does.
like I would
Brings
totally
back.
eat all this stuff. When I go into Tim Hortons now and I see a donut, and I'm like, wow, these all look incredibly unappetizing. Look at the Timbits. Oh my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
the dream
so
Timbits.
cute.
What are normal
my
Timbits going
God.
for? Aren't they like 10 cents like a Timbit?
No.
And then like I thought-
12 now, maybe 15.
Are they 12? Yeah,
they're
but,
like,
like these.
They're like 30 or 40 cents.
no,
a
no,
can.
Wow.
these new ones now are they're like
Oh,
60,
50 cents.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay.
like 50, 60
I
cents. now.
totally pay that.
Really?
Like,
For-
did you look at them? They are.
Yeah.
They look
They-
delicious.
They look like they were made with love, definitely. But I don't know.
Yeah,
just
like
like-
it's like they're taking like the things that people are complaining about and like putting them in. Like Tim Hortons innovation here is like, hey, you guys changed a bunch of crap. We want to go back, and Tim Hortons is like, innovation.
Yeah,
We're gonna
like-
use our old recipes.
You should definitely like listen to the audio of it too, of the girl like kind of speaking with it. That's literally what the actual sounding clip is. It's
Oh
just
my
like
goodness.
soothing, soft music with like a very soothing,
BDSM.
very Manilow voice going on.
They are really taking like a Starbucks approach too, because like when you go to Tim Hortons now, so I know that not all Tim Hortons are like this, but the Tim Hortons that I frequent the most,
Yeah.
You go in there, you ask them for like a sandwich, and then it takes them like 45 minutes to like make you a sandwich. But if you look at this one too, and it's the same way Starbucks
yeah.
works, they have the sandwiches kind of like pre-made, and maybe
Yeah.
they like warm
All
them up for you or
displayed,
something.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm
like, how long is that going to last? Because like ideally, if they're not that high in demand, you're just letting the sandwich like get stale. Well, I guess like
This
the
is
bread and stuff like
downtown
that they're
Toronto.
using.
Like,
They
they're
have
gonna-
to keep up with
Yeah.
like La Prep and like Prairie Girl, all those
Yeah.
places that are already just doing this. So
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
it's
for like
cheaper.
their own little like are those like independent cafes? or
yeah,
whatnot?
like
Okay.
well, some of them are chains. Well, because they're getting so well and
Okay.
so high
Oh,
demand.
so they're franchising out. Where
yeah,
it's okay.
They
exactly. And
actually-
Tim Hortons is going down.
Yeah, it's like Tim Hortons. Like people don't want like stale coffee and like gross plastic donuts anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
they want
Processed cheese.
things that, even if it is processed, like if you find a way to like make this happen faster, like
Yeah.
cook these things faster, but like hell, pay people a little bit more money to like learn how to do these things. Like if you look at their coffee there, they actually have like a stainless steel like pour
Yeah.
mug. Like you can make like a matcha latte and put art in it or something, right? It's not just like a machine doing
Well,
it.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't know, that whole little art form reminds me of like Starbucks, like you were saying, like because that kind of
Yeah.
very seems kind of
But, like,
preppy in a sense.
That's
rather than-
how a coffee should be made, though. Like a latte, right? Like you don't push a button on a machine to make a latte.
Yeah.
Like you literally
Put some
put
love
work
into, it.
it.
Yeah.
Like people like
I don't
hand
know.
make those things. Those drinks were never meant to be crafted from a machine.
But like, does it? I don't know. Like to me, I don't really care how it looks or anything like that. As long as it has.
That's
like,
not
the
what's important
caffeine,
about it.
As,
It's
as
not-
long as it has the caffeine and like it
Well, yeah,
does what it's supposed to.
It doesn't
do.
matter what it looks like. You don't have to put the art in
Yeah.
it. But like the art was like a
Just a little added
to
incentive.
show people like mastery of
Yeah.
like the art, right?
I
'Cause,
think
like
it
coffee
also
is an art.
helps for advertising because if it looks nice, people are going to put it on their Insta stories, hashtag Tim
Oh
Hortons.
yeah, that's right. That's social
So
media
that-
Yeah,
plugs.
I'm really excited. Like the peanut butter and jelly one donut has me so intrigued. Like I love peanut butter and jelly.
Not even like
boy.
the one with dry cereal on the top of it.
Fruit Loops.
Yeah, it's like they do like
Yeah.
cornflakes.
We
and,
can
like,
say Fruit Loops,
and
you just can't sing Queen songs.
well, they do that. They do like Frosted Flakes, cornflakes, and like Fruit
ew,
Loops
yeah.
and stuff like that. Like man, but
Man,
the,
I'm
the
so
only
hungry.
thing though,
No.
We're
is,
just like going here, and Steve's like sugary cereals.
Yeah, I was gonna.
We're gonna have
say,
to eject them from this podcast.
but I don't know. Like it's.
This
How,
looks
how,
good,
how
though.
much do you think? Like, it's funny. Like, no, like dietary listing information is posted about anything about this, and the whole new fad of like health consciousness and like dietary.
That's
needs.
fair. Honestly, like as far as like the dietary like calorie counts and
Yeah.
stuff, I don't care because if you go to a place and they're gonna put sugar in it, like that you're probably eating more sugar than necessary or whatever.
Yeah.
But like this is the Tim Hortons Innovation Center, and as far as prices go and stuff, like the prices are very similar to what they're charging here. Like
Yeah.
apparently an ice cap. I'm assuming that's like a small ice cap, which they serve to you in a glass. It's $2.69, and this is a Canadian. This
Yeah.
isn't like an American Tim Horton Innovation Center. It's like Canadian in Canada, in like one of the most expensive cities to live in Canada, and like they're serving up handcrafted lemonade starting at $2.09.
That's a very good price.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
like,
complain,
dang.
but I was looking at this picture of that Tuscan Caprice they have, and my God, it looks delicious.
Yeah.
Guys. Yeah, and like even it's $6.49. Like that's a reasonable price, and like that's on like a Tuscan bun. Like that's like real some type of artisan bread that apparently they're sourcing locally.
Tuscan
Like
style
sure, I'm all about that. If they had one Tim Hortons Innovation Center in like every like medium to big city,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
there's a bakery in every city. Like
Yeah.
there's got to be like where do they get the bread from?
Man, we got to definitely hit up Tim Hortons. The amount of talking that we're doing about them.
I'm about to drive to Toronto.
I'm like, if I remembered that this was open, I would have brought some when I came down.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you
Oh yeah, next time you guys are down, I need one of these PB&J donuts.
legit next.
It's got nuts on the
September.
top of it.
September, I'm down. I'll bring
yeah,
up
yeah.
2
Next
boxes.
next time you guys are up there, send us a
Next
like.
time you guys are home,
Yeah,
up
so-
there.
Well, yeah, well, send us an Instagram picture of the whole
I shall.
layout and everything. Let us know like first person view of how everything is.
Yeah.
Like the YouTube video and everything they posted up too. It does look very intriguing, but I want to like it, but like it just seems too like kind of like smug and arrogant for my liking. Like I don't know if anyone else gets that vibe from it. Like it looks
suits Toronto.
It looks like
too
a regular
nice.
clean Tim Hortons.
It looks too nice.
Yeah, I don't really
need-
care how it looks.
I need
Like,
the greasy
does it taste
floors, the greasy employees.
I just care how the food tastes. Like, you can serve up whatever you want looks wise.
I don't want to drink
Does it taste good?
a sip of coffee unless I know someone's spitting it. That's my Timmy's.
Oh
That is
boy.
my energy.
Speaking of cafes in Toronto though, have you heard about like the weed cafes at all? Like
It's across from my favorite ramen place. We would go,
oh boy.
order ramen, send Max for weed, come back, ramen's ready, eat, smoke.
That is fantastic.
Is that
Do they
what-
let you smoke in the ramen place?
No, just smoke outside. Just walk down the street.
Oh boy. I would totally. What ramen place?
Magic Noodle.
Mom.
Love it.
I could completely understand where they got
It
that name
sounds
from.
like there are drugs in the ramen already.
But
Oh, boy.
man, like I don't know. Like I know they've been having a lot of issues too. Like I remember Shane was bringing it up a few weeks back of talking about how they're barricading this actual cafe. I finally learned what the hell the acronym stood for. It's like cannabis and fine edibles.
Edibles, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, what is this? Like, what's the whole point of this? Because Shane's like, oh, like it's not a legit cafe.
Yeah, but
Like,
they make it
No, it is a
look
legit
like it.
cafe.
There's a
Well, yeah.
cafe downstairs of like vegan stuff.
Oh, is it
like,
actually
yeah.
like okay? They serve.
I had like a
food there.
banana. It was
Okay.
like a gluten-free, dairy-free donut, sugar-free, and I'm like, this is air.
So
But
pretentious.
It was just like a banana donut.
It's just
it
air.
cost
Give
me
you
like
an empty
$12,
plate.
and I was like, this is so
You're
stupid.
just tasting like air flavor, like
They give you an empty plate and they're like, "Have a good day."
We accept tap.
They come up to your table. They're like, "How is everything?" And you're like, using your imaginary fork. You're like, "Delicious."
This is just like Hook.
oh
That
yeah,
dinner.
that's exactly
Like,
it. With the late Robin Williams. Have you ever seen it? Was it like
Hook?
1998 or 1996 or something like that? It came out.
Oh, like Peter
like,
Pan,
like
like Hook?
Yeah.
But
Oh.
but it's entitled
Yes,
Hook.
I
And,
remember.
he goes back and everything too, and like they're just like sitting at this like empty table, and they're open up these like caskets and containers, and it's just like steam coming out. And they're just like, he's like, "Where's the food?" And like they're all just like mowing down on nothing. And then he's like, "You got to use your imagination."
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember.
But little did they realize they were just actually at the weed cafe.
That's just what it was.
They're
Yeah.
all just stoned and doing the dips.
But yeah, they've been like putting a lot of effort into like closing these down and stuff.
They can't
And
though.
I could
yeah.
imagine that it's like so hard because like especially like there's a buttload of money behind
yeah,
this stuff.
definitely.
There is.
And like, so what I think should have happened, because like Toronto was like a weird gray zone as
Yeah.
far as like the cannabis market
Yeah.
in the first place. And then once it legalized, none of them were grandfathered in. Like they
Yeah.
had established business. They were selling now legal product.
Yeah.
Even though it was still illegal for them to sell it.
Yeah.
I like, that's so
Well,
Doesn't
it's
make sense.
because they didn't necessarily
The
go
government
through the
should-
appropriate channels for actually getting licensed per government
Here's
for
the deal,
federal
though.
and provincial.
there is no appropriate channel for them to go through.
That's why they did it. Honestly, they just fuck everyone over.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, it's legal now, but only if we allow you, like, give you
Yeah.
our blessing.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the people who are kind of going against it, it's like, you know what? It's not illegal for people to have it now, and like we can sell and stuff. Like other provinces are doing it much better, but like you should be able to sell it, and there should be like sure, like tobacco.
Yeah.
You know, you can get tobacco at any convenience store, but like, why can only 50 places in Ontario sell weed right now?
'Cause-
That's
Exactly.
stupid. Alcohol is everywhere. Like, you know, people are doing much worse
Yeah.
things, and then like criminalizing this and like making people work like that for like trying to sell something that is literally like the oldest drug that anybody's
Well, 'cause,
ever done.
like-
Probably, like, I don't know. Weed is just like so normal for everybody. You want to go to? I'd love. In Windsor, even all these places that keep getting shut down, I'm just like, man, like it's legal now. Like
Yeah.
I don't have to fear of persecution. I just want to go and like, you know, smoke a joint at like a curated experience in a lounge somewhere. Like I want somebody else to like, kind of like when you go to a sports bar for a beer, or
Exactly,
you
in a
go to a
game.
comedy bar for a beer.
Yeah.
Like you get to experience that beer in like different environments.
Yeah.
Like I don't just want to like do it normal all the time. Like there's got to be a better way. Like I want to see what other
'cause
people have
think
for me.
I think that's part of the whole confusion process is like the federal and provincials still don't know what to do to the extent of what should be legal. Like sure,
Exactly.
it's legal, but the quantity and the amount that people are still like, utilizing is still illegal, and so it's just like kind of a push and shove situation of
it's
you know
still a better
where's the extent because it's not like down pat like they have obviously for the tobacco and alcohol use.
Yeah.
all
Even
that
then, there are like issues with it. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
people don't
it's
want to buy
still-
from the damn government all the time.
Absolutely, never have.
like
Yeah.
literally from what I was reading through the articles, they were just talking about like the comparison between like alley street weed versus like the governmental weed, and how they're saying like there's no comparison in like I don't know
Potency.
Is it potency that people look for? Is it taste or something like that?
Well, there's all sorts of things, right? But like people who like sell weed,
Yeah,
like if you have like a good drug dealer or
Okay.
something, like everybody is like going to prefer that to like the government stuff, because a lot of complaints that I've heard about the government stuff, and like I haven't tried any of the government stuff.
Yeah.
I still have some leftovers from, but yeah, all the government stuff. Apparently, it's like sitting out for a long time. It's really dry. It doesn't
Okay.
taste very good. It's not as potent. Like people.
So it's just like
don't know what
general
to do with it.
complaints.
poor management of their product then at this
Yes.
point.
Because like you want it fresh, right? Like people, that's what people are used to. Because like you know the illegal drug industry, like they don't like hold on to it for a long time and
Yeah.
like let it sit or whatever. Like people want fresh stuff, and that's not what the government is serving out right now.
Yeah.
They're
No.
giving you whatever comes in like medicine bottles and stuff.
But yeah, it's just like the mixture between, I guess, of trying to find a common ground between like the federal versus provincial with, I don't know, like, what they want for like their weed basically. But
It's a money thing, and if the government wants to control it, sure, you can control like the ins and outs of the industry and whatever. But like, especially okay, so like the way that our government's working right now, we have a left-leaning federal and a right-leaning provincial. The right-leaning provincial like just doesn't seem to want to make it easy at all for anybody to get access to it, and so they're like putting a lot of roadblocks in between and stuff. But like that wasn't the point of making it legal. Like the fact that you can still read stories prominently, regularly about illegal cannabis, like what about that makes it sound legal? Like if they want to get licenses going and stuff like that, it's been like what, a few years now, it's been over a year, like let's say a year and a half. It's been a year and a half. It doesn't take a year and a half to figure out how to like make this like a flowing, smooth industry, just like the tobacco industry.
I don't know.
They
Well,
should
why don't they
just
take
combine it with the tobacco industry.
take notes
almost,
from like Amsterdam, since Amsterdam has been doing it for forever apparently. But I think that would be kind of like one of the main stepping stones is, should they need help trying to like regulate everything and try to figure out how things should process and work. Like Amsterdam would be kind of the main stepping stones of, I guess, like mimicry or a template that they should
lots of
necessarily
examples
follow.
too. Like Amsterdam's not the only.
Well,
Colorado.
that's the one. Well, Colorado came up after, but like that's like the main one that stuck around just because like it's why people traveled to Amsterdam at the time.
Well, yeah, the natives there hate it though. Like,
Definitely.
they're like, oh, these weed tourists.
Yeah,
Like again.
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly, I think it's just not a priority for the government. They want to figure out a way to make the most money, but they just don't have their heads in the right place or any information.
Well, they have the buck of beer, so have you ever found the dollar
Actually,
beers?
they're delicious.
Really?
They're also not $1 anymore.
Oh yeah.
I went and bought.
We had
some
the
more
no-name
Costco
beer.
I was gonna
ones.
say
a while
that
ago.
is that the no name beer?
It was so good. I was very surprised.
Yeah, that's what we
It
were.
was all right.
We were actually pretty quite
like I
surprised
thought it
with
was going
like,
to be piss, and it was decent beer.
So Stevie and I went to a barbecue a little while ago, and we bought no-name beer, and then we bought bougie beer, and oh boy, that stark contrast.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Because what was that? Yeah, like the no name. It had like a very strong like similar taste
Tastes
to
like
like
Budweiser, Molson.
like
Yeah.
they had Molson Canadian. Like it was very kind of like starchy in a sense. Like it was just kind of like that heavy type like bread taste to it that I found anyways. But that's how I see like the Canadian Molson taste. It's kind of just like almost like you're eating bread basically. Like
Not ready.
I don't know. Then what was that other beer that I grabbed? The sweet one,
the Rubius
Rubius
from Founders.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a really good beer, but
Yeah.
like it's meant to share or just not drink it all
It's-
at once.
It's
For
it's
sure.
basically to have like half glass or like mix it down with something because like holy like it was definitely too sweet for my liking.
Steve was white girl wasted.
Oh, were you?
Yeah,
was
he
I?
All that sugar.
tipsing over and stuff.
But like like as soon as I got home, like instantly had to like brush my teeth. Like it just
That's
felt
true,
like,
actually,
gritty,
yeah.
yeah.
It's very sweet. It's like it's a raspberry beer.
Yeah.
That
And
sounds
it's
delicious.
it's
Like,
like it's sweet. It's like it's almost like a cider, but it's like
Yeah.
potent. It's like 8 or 9%.
It's
Wow.
definitely really
You guys
good.
are selling me on this. Like,
but
seriously.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's not like the only thing that you should bring to a party,
Yeah, we learned the hard way.
and you should drink it first. Definitely.
It's like bringing girls' night out and expecting that
Oh
you're going
my
to be
God.
okay.
Oh my god, girls not like that wine? Is that it?
Yeah,
Okay,
like the sugar
Yeah,
with
yeah.
alcohol in it,
Oh,
That's funny.
and some food
oh
coloring.
boy. No, I've never even tried it. I'm just like
Well, yeah, because like
done.
It's gross.
I don't know. It's
Well, back to
Too
Cafe, I drove by there recently, and they do have massive cinder blocks, like bigger than this
Yeah.
table,
Yeah.
and they have the cinder blocks glued together. And I was like, "What are they doing?" And then there's just like a whole back operation of people. And I was like, "You can't stop this."
Did you see what was happening there? So, like the product inside is like, just lost, I guess. But like what happened was like the employees that came out, like were still showing up to work every day and just selling it on the street.
That's exactly what's happening.
Which,
So I was
like-
like,
Sure, you took away our enclosure, but
and then people hang out, so it just looks like
Yeah.
people hanging out confused instead of actually something that's happening.
yeah. Because like a lot of police, I guess, busts were still happening too, where they're actually arresting people and kind of citating and giving people tickets for I guess like loitering and everything too, and kind of like interfering with like police work or whatever. So they're still giving out tickets and everything too for the employees as well that's distributing the marijuana, saying that it's still illegal of what they're doing since obviously they're not licensed to distribute. They're doing that. They're seizing property as well. They're taking away, I guess, like when they kind of went inside the building to kind of take away equipment, they seized like some iPads, some phones and everything. Of course, they need a warrant now to kind of actually go into the properties. But what some articles was basically stating that is it's not justifiable for them to kind of dig out the information to prosecute the clients at this point, because obviously they're not supposed to kind of dig around and go through the actual privacy of information of what's on this iPad.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So it's going to be a little bit of work if should they want to try and do some sort of prosecution and whatnot at this point. But
plus, like,
even they don't even know what they're going to be charging with, just because it's such a gray area right now.
So much effort going into like shutting down these weed cafes, and it's like, you know what? Instead of like working to like shut down and shutter these businesses that are like should be legal, like why don't you just like
redirect that
help
effort
them get legal, or open up the system a little bit? Like, these guys have an established business here that is selling a product. Like, why don't you like make what they're doing legal? Like, it's not like they're doing anything wrong or hurting anybody. They're just curating an experience.
Like a prime example that actually came to my mind when I was like kind of going through all this. It's like prohibition. It's exactly what was going on with prohibition when they kind of outlaw alcohol usage. It's the same concept now. I guess like I think someone was calling like prohibition 2.0 or whatnot, but it's the same concept with like outruling marijuana now, and they're trying to shut down all these speakeasy clubs and shut down all like the actual place.
My favorite club.
Exactly, just because
my favorite club.
I love that place.
It's
wait, the club Speakeasy?
It's not a speakeasy, but like it was just
I thought
known
it was
where
called
you could
speakeasy.
go.
That's funny.
It was just a place where you could go and you would smoke and you not smoke and get high anyways, because they'd hotbox the room, and there's comedy and drinks.
Is that the same?
Yeah,
place?
that's Max's place.
Yeah, love it.
Mr. Sheldricks was actually telling us a story about that. I think that's where he kind of like introduced the story of dabs. Basically, where they give their comedians dabs as payment versus actually money.
Yes.
He's like, it's not a fair trade-off, but I don't know. Can't argue with
it was Max's first day.
But yeah, like it's just prohibition at this point where they want to, because it's been so wrong for like forever, and so they don't know how to treat it at this point. Like they don't know how to prosecute. They don't know provincial meets federal at this point. Like it's just up in the air, and so it's like a complete shit show at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like the provincial and the federal are kind of like arguing a little bit about it or whatever, and it's like, just let the people have their weed cafe.
Let my people go.
That's what I was going to. I'm like, it's going to take a while. It's like Trudeau is Lincoln, weed is the black people. It'll take a while.
It's okay. She's allowed to say that.
Yes.
But I don't know, man. As far as it goes, comments, retort. How would you stand by this?
I wish it was. We can't buy edibles. It's illegal to like sell. Well, it's not illegal to sell edibles, but like the government doesn't sell them, so like you can't legally buy them.
You gotta buy the
they
weed
did.
and make it, I guess.
Oh, I thought on their website they actually sold like edibles and stuff like that, don't they?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not that I know of. Like
It's weird.
the
I
last time
always have
checked-
edibles, but I never buy them.
Yeah.
Just always seem to have them somehow.
Teeshia is a fantastic baker.
I do.
I was gonna say like
cake
it's such like a foreign idea, because like I've
Nailed it.
It was
Teesh
so
knows what
funny
I'm
because
talking
like Sheldrick went on like this massive kind of conversational piece about like weed and like marijuana and everything too, and I'm just like sitting here like, okay, cool. I was like, man, I've never done the weed once, and I'm just like, okay, like I don't even know how to like react with the majority of.
I don't do that devil's lettuce.
Yeah, like it
away
just
from me.
never it obviously just never appealed to me, and I'm like at this point like I'm just too old to like be adventurous, I guess,
dabble.
and I'm just
Steve's
like,
too
yeah,
old
whatever.
to try.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
try a dab. It's concentrated, and then you're like, that's a life's worth of weed right
That's
there.
funny.
Oh, is it?
But I don't know. It's just never been for me. Like I've seen obviously people do it, and the
Steve's
reactions.
gonna have
of
chronic pain
mix
in
it.
his old age. And he's just gonna be like,
I'm just
He's
like,
gonna be begging for that.
At least I won't be like my tolerance threshold. I'll just have to like smell it once. It's just like like the little smelly salts, and I'm just like,
Exactly.
I'm good. But,
They have balm now too. Like I have one that I put on when I go
Balm?
to sleep. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you.
Just
oh,
rub it.
balm.
Like
Oh, I
weed
thought-
balm. Yeah.
I thought it was
Just rub
like
it on my temples.
I thought you were talking about like a bath bomb. You just
That'd be
throw
cool.
it in there and it just like steams up and he's like, yeah, that's
Well,
the stuff.
they're actually like using like CBD oils
Oil,
and stuff
yeah.
now that like doesn't get you high, but like still has the same or similar medicinal effects.
Effects,
No.
yeah.
So like somebody was
Good
like,
with seizures, autism, anxiety.
Oh,
we'll not get into that.
no comment.
Yeah.
We spoke quite a lot about the DSM previously. Yeah, it was interesting.
We recorded all of it. We'll send it to you for approval after.
None of it involved you whatsoever.
It better not have.
Take it out on the hubby.
My God. You know what? I guess we'll be there for Max for your guys' divorce.
There you go.
Maybe.
Foot in mouth
Yeah, I think
syndrome.
you'll need to. I don't know where he's gonna live.
Oh
He
yeah.
can't afford Toronto.
There you go. He can be our third compadre on the podcast.
Yeah.
He can be your IT guy.
Can we put him in the box when we're done though, or
Just
I don't want
turn
to
him
deal
off
with him
and
in
pack
between
him away.
episodes. Yeah, we got another shelf. But oh boy,
Poor Maxi Poo.
Maxi Poo.
Anyway.
Anyways,
Yeah.
it's been nice chatting with you folks.
Yeah, likewise. Teeshia.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great having you out.
This was fun.
Yeah.
You're
man.
second female on the show. I don't think we've had many other males on the show either, but
Yeah,
you know.
we had like two other. but that's
Okay,
it.
so it's tied. Let's
There's
keep it
just
equal.
you two
Cool.
titties most of the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the thumbnail right there of our African goddess.
Yeah, we
Gotta
gotta
get
get more
those
creative with
clicks.
the thumbnails.
Yeah.
I wore an appropriate shirt.
Hey. Yeah, definitely.
We'll zoom in,
But
enhance image.
yeah. Do you have any of your plugs you want to go ahead and lay down on us, Teeshikins?
Yeah, where can our listeners find you
They want to listen.
Nowhere really.
on this podcast?
On
Teeshia
this
exists
podcast.
on this podcast.
I have Instagram. I am Teeshia Buns. Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Buns.
I'll take it.
that's about it. I'm not interesting, so don't find me.
Pornhub.com/Teeshia Buns.
Don't have me.
Someone has told me they thought I was on there. I was not.
Yeah, I'm starting to
Well,
get.
Max was telling us about his, so
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm starting to slowly get recognized here in the Windsor town, and I'm just like,
Those black
they're
pages.
just like, hey, where do? No, I think they
Who's
shut them
got
all.
the
Yeah, they
black-
shut down all the back pages, and then they're just like, oh, I think I seen you. I was just like, yeah, I do porn, and I just like walk away, and they're just like, okay.
we've actually talked about that before about just like creating a Hotline Hangout Pornhub account and just
Yeah.
posting this up there.
You should
Like for our little teaser trailers, like I'm sure I could find a nice PNG of like the Pornhub.
mislabel it
Yeah.
too.
Exactly, it would be like kind of like a clickbaity type of label or whatnot. Or
Two
title to
guys
it.
get fucked when the camera goes down.
Busty brunette with two other guys. That was really bad.
Figure out how it
I'm
ended.
not a brunette. I just
Belle
wrote this.
Delphine strokes two cocks.
Not this week.
Not this week.
But yeah, Stevie, where can our lovely lovelies find us?
Hey, you could definitely go ahead and find us in our Instagram handle at Hotline Hangout Podcast, followed by our Twitter handle. Hey, you like that? Huh?
Sex
At
toys.
oh, I got echo now. Oh snap! You could definitely find us at Hotline Hangout on Twitter, followed by our YouTube channel at Hotline Hangout. You could definitely hit us up on our email should you want to leave any type of detailed information of everything. I don't know, whatever you want. It's your choice because I don't care. And we look forward to hearing back
We do
from you.
care, though. We
It's
do.
also at hotlinehangout@gmail.com.
And you should rate our podcast 5 stars on iTunes because that will help us get to the top of the lists. iTunes lists.
I know I will.
Hey.
Oh, see, we've already got one.
Kid
15 episodes in.
Kid tested. T-shirt approves.
Ooh, dang, that was on the spot. Steve is a funny guy.
Pay me.
Oh, not yet. Not
You
yet.
guys look at each other so intensely.
We just get lost each other's.
Just
eyes.
trying to, you can measure in between the burner ticks if he's
You can just like calibrate.
like there's like something in there trying to escape. You know, like tick twice if you're okay. Like, alrighty. Anyways, thank you for listening to another episode of Hotline Hangout. Again, my name is Shane,
I'm Murphy.
I'm Teeshia Buns.
and you have a fantastic week. We'll see you next Tuesday. Wow. Oh, my Batman voice was bad.
Tuesday.
You just called everyone a cunt.
Who?
See you next Tuesday.
Wait, how's everybody done?
No, it's
you
acronyms.
next
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Hey!